make sure you get everything in writing. Hey guys, it's Brad from probateresource.com. At Probate Resource, we're a real estate solutions company. We specialize in the world of probate and inheritance properties. We're based out of Metro Atlanta, Georgia, but we actually buy houses all over. Again, like I said, we specialize in probate and inheritance properties. So today I want to talk about getting everything in writing. I can't tell you how many times we have gone to purchase an estate property, and there is always some disagreement over an agreement. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, mom made a deal with brother that brother gets the house when she dies, or brother can stay in the house, or blah, 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 or brother has the first right of refusal to buy the property when she dies, and then she dies, and then the siblings have some, I guess, difference of opinion as to what that agreement said. Brother says one thing, brothers and sisters say another thing, and there's a family feud, right? And there was nothing in writing. No one put anything in writing ever. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of story here. This wasn't really a probate or an estate situation, but we had a gentleman reach out to us, probably 2 years ago. He wanted to sell this property, and his side of the story is that his daughter was living in the house, and she hasn't paid him rent in a long time, and he wants to sell the property with her in place, or needs our help to get her out of the property, and he wants to liquidate this property. He said that his daughter was supposed to purchase the house, and she never purchased the house, and blah, 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 blah. They're not on speaking terms anymore, da, 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 da. So time goes by, we keep following up. We finally get out to the property. We finally talk to the daughter. We get her side of the story, which is a lot different than what her dad said. And then they're fighting back and forth. Daughter says, no, I've been paying the property taxes. I've been paying the mortgage. Apparently there was a mortgage. She'd been paying the mortgage payment out of her bank account every month. She'd paid the taxes. She'd done all these improvements to the property. She even said that she had an option to purchase the property that was in writing. It was not notarized, which technically an option agreement usually needs to be notarized and witnessed, but in this case it wasn't. She said, no, I have all that stuff. My dad's full of crap. He's lying to you. So then we keep following up, da-da-da-da. Finally, we tell him, like, look, I'm not getting in the middle of this. You guys need to go to court over this, because they just couldn't. I mean, they wouldn't speak to one another, da-da-da-da. And then finally, I get wind that a friend of mine has the property under contract to purchase. So I call him up and I say, hey man, I just give you a heads up. This is our take of this situation. Proceed with caution, figure out, how you want to handle this. Ultimately, he ended up not buying the property. And ultimately what happened is the daughter filed a quiet title action with the courts, which is basically the end-all be-all court lawsuit legal proceeding that one would exercise in order to obtain clear ownership. That drug out for an entire year, and ultimately the daughter was granted possession of this property by the judge. And what was funny is the dad calls us back, I guess about a month ago, following up with us, and says that he got screwed and the court was wrong and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, because I know how involved and how strenuous a quiet title action is on a property. It is not an easy process. It's not a cursory process. It's very in-depth. And in their case, they also had to appoint a special master, which means there's a third-party attorney, a neutral third party that's appointed to look over the facts and da-da-da. Ultimately, she got possession of the house. It's her house. She owns it. Her name's on it. Judge gave her title. Whether dad likes it or not, his chance to fight this and argue this was in court in front of the judge, and he lost. So I'm sorry, but whether you like it or not, she went through the proper channels and she got legal possession of the property. And she had her ducks in a row and had her homework. Otherwise, the judge would have probably granted you possession, but obviously she did. So if you have an agreement with a family member over an estate, for example, I was just speaking with one of my employees about this, and her mother somehow added her brother, not the mother, but her mother added her son, which was my employee's brother, to title to this property for estate reasons, and said, you know, blah, 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 if I die here, you know, so-and-so gets the house, da-da-da. Well, that wasn't exactly the agreement that they had. So my employee said, no, Mom, talk to my attorney, like, it needs to be done this way. The way you did it is not correct. And of course, the mom and the brother did this sort of on their own. They didn't go through an attorney, consult an attorney, didn't go with a real estate attorney nor an estate attorney as to doing this properly. Anyways, they screwed it all up and now they have to fix it. Luckily, mom's still alive, brother's still alive, everybody's still alive, everything's good. But my employee was expressing her concern to her mom to say, you need to rectify this and get this right, like today, right now, and get all of this in writing today, right now, so that in the event that you pass away, there is no confusion as to the facts. And that's what putting things in writing do. I'm in business, I get everything in writing all the time. And there have been many times where I maybe didn't get something in writing and it came back to bite me. But there are also instances where I did have things in writing and there were deals that I did with business partners and we had spelled everything out in writing and there was a misunderstanding about one little piece or another. And we went back to our original document and said, this is what it says. And we both came to an agreement as to this is what it says and this is what the document says. This is why you put everything in writing. So if you are dealing, maybe you're dealing with an estate right now and the cat's already out of the bag and you can't reel that back in which case, a lot of times, if you can't come to an agreement, you're going to have to go in front of a judge. You're going to have to file suit, go through a lawsuit in order to get this clarified. But if you're not to that point yet, I highly suggest to you to get everything in writing. Or if you're the sibling, make sure that your parent or whomever the person that you're thinking about might be passing away soon, make sure they are getting everything in writing and putting everything in writing, and make sure things are notarized and witnessed. Make sure that you, in most cases, are consulting either a real estate attorney or an estate planning attorney to make sure that you're doing things properly. Because I can't tell you how many times after the fact that if we're trying to purchase a property from a state, we have to unwind all of the mess that was done improperly, and it takes time. And then the sellers and the estate get upset because this is taking so much time. And you're like, well, if you had done this right to begin with, we wouldn't be in this position today. So that's why it's important to make sure that you're getting everything in writing. So thanks again for checking out this video. I'm Brad with probateresource.com. Like I mentioned, we're a real estate solutions company. If you have a property that you've inherited that you want to sell, we'd love to buy it from you. Or I can also help you get that property sold through a real estate agent. If you're in the state of Georgia, I am a licensed real estate agent myself with one source in Woodstock. But if you're not in the state of Georgia, I have a network of real estate agents all over the country that I work with that specialize in probate and inheritance, know how to work with investors, know how to navigate these muddy waters. So if you've got a property that you want to sell, go to our website, fill out the form there on our website. A member of our team will be with you as soon as possible, and we'd love to talk to you about how you can get that property sold. So thanks again for checking out this video. Again, I'm Brad with probateresource.com. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.